Okay, 26 and
Quiero decir que a la última de la de ayer, un poco más 30 por acá.
Sí, pero no sé dónde quedamos
el día de ayer. Esto es.
pero
¿Puedes?
no es aquí.
para la cámara.
Ese es para la cámara.
¿quién tiene?
A ver, ponlo para ver.
Bueno, primero había un ejercicio de la tarea de ayer. ¿Lo hicimos? Wow.
Están programados todos los turnos.
Aquí les pasamos los tareas.
Sí, están programados.
Okay, para mañana entonces.
Todo está muy bien.
Ok. La semana que viene no. Pero este sábado también.
Wow. Siempre con pocos, ¿no?
Bueno, antes de empezar y mientras ponemos la presentación, ¿alguna pregunta respecto de la sesión del día de ayer? Después de que fueron a su casa, revisaron todos los casos, aseguraron que tenían establecimientos. Should I speak? Sure. I speak Spanish. English. Okay. English. Everybody. So, questions? No questions. Ya. Sí, muy bien.
Acerca de lo de las simetrías, decía que era una invariancia de transformaciones, ¿no?
¿Alguna transformación?
Sí, pero la transformación debe ser una transformación lineal.
Ya.
Y ya desde el punto de vista, desde el álgebra lineal, eso quiere decir que un estado que se encuentre en un subconjunto del espacio Hilbert debería de ser invariante ante esa transformación. O sea, cualquier estado que yo agarre y si le aplico una transformación que quiero decir es una simetría, me debería de devolver a un estado que esté dentro de este subconjunto.
Así. Ese es el concepto de la representación irreducible. Me regreso a la transparencia. A esa transparencia, ¿no? Es decir, el bicho vive aquí. ¿Okay? Ahora, cuando digo bicho es un sistema físico. Ahora, si tiene ciertas simetrías, entonces de manera natural su comportamiento se descompone en estados, o sea, en esta base pues que tiene por eso. Cualquier estado más general tiene una patita aquí, una patita aquí, una patita aquí. ¿Okay? En general. Pero si hay una simetría, entonces lo que estamos diciendo es que el estado necesariamente tiene que vivir en uno de los subespacios. Es decir, si yo le hago una rotación, pues, para ser específicos, al vector de estado de un sistema que es simétrico rotacionalmente, entonces necesariamente el sistema está descrito por uno de los que está aquí y bajo la notación se queda aquí. No me brinca para acá, no me brinca para acá, no me brinca para acá. Es invariante la representación. Ese es el concepto de la representación irreducible. ¿Esa era la pregunta? ¿O?
Sí, es que, por ejemplo, cuando ponía así un operador ya en su forma matricial, lo podía expresar como era similar a una matriz diagonal y era con las matrices unitarias.
Diagonal con
sí, era una propios. Pero pues eso sería ya así, viéndolo desde el punto de vista de la lineal, sería como una matriz de cambio de coordenadas. Unitaria y conjugada.
Toda transformación, o sea, todo cambio de coordenadas tiene que ser Pero creo que no termino de entenderlo. A ver si...
Sí, pero es que cuando si se hace ese cambio de coordenadas, ahí podrías salirse del subespacio variante.
No.
¿No?
No. Entonces déjame hacer el cálculo porque de pronto la semántica nos traiciona, pero el lenguaje formal no nos engaña. Voy a hacer rotaciones, ¿ok? Muy rápido. Voy a hacer rotaciones. Entonces, si yo hago rotaciones, lo que estoy diciendo es que mi sistema es invariante ante rotación. Es decir, yo tengo un hamiltoniano, voy a hacer mecánica cuántica convencional, más un B que depende de R. Si yo hago si eso le da una rotación, es como tener una pelota de playa, pues, bajo la transformación, no cambia. La transformación es una rotación, y estoy hablando del sistema físico, y si estoy hablando del sistema cuántico, esta tiene una representación que es lo que llamamos una D. Esto depende de un eje y un ángulo, un eje y un ángulo. Estas son las del espacio físico, esta es la representación de transformación en el espacio de físico. Esa transformación, si es una simetría, entonces sus generadores me pueden servir como parte del conjunto completo de observadores que conmuten. Y en nuestro átomo de hidrógeno, efectivamente, nuestro conjunto completo de observadores que conmutan son el hamiltoniano, el J cuadrado y el JZ. ¿Okay? ¿Qué es lo que tengo que hacer? Buscar las representaciones irreducibles de este conjunto de operadores, de este grupo de simetrías. ¿Cuál es el resultado? Es un cálculo muy simple, que ahorita lo podemos mostrar en pantalla, en el que hay que puedo caracterizar por dos números cuánticos, el asociado con el J cuadrado, el JZ, ¿verdad? Esto me da las representaciones irreducibles del grupo de rotaciones. Si yo hago ¿por qué son representaciones irreducibles? Le llama uno aquellas subespacios que tienen un J bien definido. Porque si yo hago una rotación sobre esto, ¿verdad? Una dr sobre el espacio, ya no le pongo, voy a hablar de rotación, jn, pues esto es un exponencial de menos i j punto t, son los generadores. Y cuando yo hago una rotación y expando este exponencial pues me va a tener el término que es un 1 menos i j punto theta más i, como mejor le pongo menos i j punto theta cuadrado sobre 2 factorial más etcétera. ¿Okay? Todo esto actuando sobre jn, donde j está fijo. Si j está fijo, entonces cuando le aplique el j, ¿verdad? Aquí tengo jn, jy, jz. El jz pues me lo deja igual porque estos son en estados comunes de j cuadrada, ¿verdad? Con este valor y jz. Entonces me lo deja igual. El jx y jy, uno puede probar que lo único que hacen es no cambian este j, sino suben el m o en 1 o lo bajan en menos 1. Lo cambian en más o menos 1. ¿Okay? Entonces, pues este no me cambia el j. ¿Vale? Y si hago el j cuadrado, van a ser combinaciones lineales de todos estos operadores cuadrados. Y es jz, jz, jx, jy. Ninguno de esos me cambia el j. Y si hago el cubo, igual. Y si hago a la millonésima, igual. ¿Okay? Entonces, resultado, esto no me cambia el j. Solo puede ser una combinación lineal de todos los posibles m', porque eso sí me los cambia. Pero el m' solo puede ser desde menos j hasta j. Así está la construcción del cálculo de los estados j con m'. Entonces, una rotación sobre un estado jm, lo que me da es un estado jm' con la combinación lineal más general que tú quieras, con los m', pero no me cambia el j. Entonces, las representaciones irreducibles, las cosas que están ahí, son las que están caracterizadas por el j. Yo le hago una rotación, se me queda ya, no se me sale.
Sí, ya.
Ese es el concepto. Ya en términos formales. Bueno, otra pregunta. No, entonces continuamos. Un poco para refrescar dónde nos quedamos. Bueno, primero, cosas importantes. Digamos, como un repaso. ¿No? Todo el sistema cuántico nosotros lo caracterizamos por buenos números cuánticos, y estos son, por definición, los ecuadores de los operadores del grupo de simetrías. No todos pueden estar, pero están los que llamamos los operadores de Casimir y los que escogemos entre todos los otros que conmutan todos entre sí. Es lo que forma una subálgebra y una subálgebra de Cartán. Entonces, en este caso, la subálgebra de Cartán, por ejemplo, estaría constituido solamente por el JC, que es uno solo. Porque se conmutan con el J cuadrado, no con el JX por allí. Después hicimos la cuantización y estábamos en el cálculo de en el paso de la parte clásica, ¿verdad?, a la parte cuántica. Y en la parte cuántica, la forma como dijimos que íbamos a hacer la cuantización, pues era siguiendo lo que hacemos por analogía en este caso, pero uno puede hacerlo formalmente, considerando esto como un número de grados infinitos de libertad, ¿verdad?, y luego asociándole un momento a cada una de ellas, y luego haciendo el paso al continuo. ¿Okay? Pero esencialmente el resultado es, pues, como lo que tenemos aquí, al mismo tiempo debe conmutar. La única diferencia es que aquí, para estos índices, parecería coincidir, pero no. En realidad, cuando I es igual a J, o cuando I es distinto de J, acá lo que tenemos es un continuo. Y entonces eso me da esa delta. Y uno puede tener acá, pues, otras coordenadas, otros campos. Y los campos son diferentes, pues, igual conmutan, son el mismo campo y es igual a J. Entonces, ahí este es lo que uno llama la cuantización. Todos vamos a decir, después de esto, es una consecuencia de esto. ¿Qué hacemos para continuar? Pues escribimos el campo de esta manera en términos de nuestros operadores. Ahora son operadores, estos son operadores, estos son operadores, y usando esta, pues, claro, que escribí ahora una de la tarea. Y estas relaciones son las análogas para sistemas continuos de cosas que ustedes conocen en mecánica cuántica convencional, de los osciladores armónicos, ¿verdad? Ahorita lo reviso, y cuando son del mismo tipo, o los adjuntos, o cualquier otro, ese es el resultado del cálculo, no es que yo lo esté diciendo como un asunto de fe. No, ese es el resultado del cálculo y a ver qué hacer. Una vez que tenemos ese resultado, entonces uno puede calcular el hamiltoniano, que como enfatizábamos la vez anterior, el hamiltoniano es definido positivo, ¿verdad? Y no tenemos entonces, al menos, los problemas que teníamos cuando queríamos hacer la mecánica cuántica relativista. Cuando hacemos el cálculo, y aquí es donde hay que sentarse unas horas para pues, meter la expansión, y luego ver los factores, y luego usar las integrales de las deltas, y luego ya reducir las cosas, y después de un ratito de trabajar, ustedes van a encontrar este resultado. Este y este, pues son los análogos a aquello que llamamos los operadores de números en el oscilador armónico no relativista. Ahorita lo utilizamos. Y la primera sorpresa es esto que tenemos aquí. Aparecen estos factores que están asociados esencialmente con los modos del estado base de un oscilador armónico de estos convencionales. Recuerden, cuando ustedes calculan, y una vez lo hacemos. Entonces, ustedes, el resultado es que había, el estado base tenía asociado, o sea, el igual a 0 tenía asociado el factor 15. Ahorita lo revisamos. Mientras tanto, quiero enfatizar que hay una energía asociada a lo que va a ser el estado base, ¿verdad? Que si uno calcula, hace su regla de Nether, su teorema de Nether, calcula las cargas, en términos de los campos, pues son estas, ustedes pueden hacer el cálculo muy simple. Y ya cuando hace todo el cálculo, entonces aparecen estos operadores de número. Y estos factores uno también aparecerían aquí, pero decíamos, esto es impar, ¿no? Entonces, ya está, ahí voy. Okay, sorry. So we have this is another function of B, and then when we integrate this, it's 0, and I'm left just with this operator. Okay? And I can play also the church of the UI symmetry and the result system. The first thing that is important is that these three operators, these three charts, come from symmetry and require the same properties. We expect that they commute with each other. They are part of the commuting set of complete set of commuting operators. Okay. So the eigenvalue will be part of the good quantum numbers. In this case, and now we can go to genealogy with the non-relativistic harmonic oscillator. This M will define the number operator for the type A, I will call it state of operator. Okay? Because they appear in our calculation in a natural way. We did this calculation, then we have here A dagger A, B dagger B, A dagger A, B dagger E, A dagger A. Okay? So it's convenient to define it as an operator. As a product of A dagger A, there is another one for the operators, and we can calculate the commutator with this. Of course, there's different oscillators that they commute, but then with the A dagger, you will find this result. With the B dagger, you will find similar result, and with the A's and B's, there's a minus sign here. Okay. And this leads us to define the total N operators, because they appear here. Okay, there is an integral of dp, dp, integral of dp, dp, also here, but with a p. Okay, also here, but with p. Okay.
Sorry? But what happened with the delta of 0?
I will discuss it in a minute.
Okay.
I will discuss it. This is important. And those relations are very important. We will use it. So people conversation proceed. And now we have this, and we can see that they commute. Okay, they commute with the Hamiltonian, because it's quite simple. The Hamiltonian is a linear combination of this. Okay, and they commute with P, and they commute in Q. Okay, and so they are part also of the complete set of commuting operators in our quantum mechanics. We are doing quantum mechanics. This is something that I want to stress, because sometimes we think that the quantum field theory is something very exotic, nothing to do with quantum mechanics. It is quantum. So I have these operators. Of course, they are related to some symmetry, and the quantum numbers, the good quantum numbers, are the operators. In this case, energy, in this case, momentum, in this case, this combination, I don't know what it is, but this combination, I will call the NA, eigenvalue NA. That's it. And we also, and this to quantum numbers. And I have to calculate these quantum numbers. But the states of my system, of my quantum field system, are all. So just to remind you what happened in the non-relativistic oscillator, we have this very well-known Hamiltonian. We define these operators. X and P here are operators. We are doing quantum mechanics. Okay, non-relativistic or quantum mechanics. And we can show that we can write this Hamiltonian as this product times 1/2 h bar omega. Also, these we call them ladder operators. This A and this dagger, space. We can calculate this with this dagger, and adjoint this, and we will get the result. We can now define the number of operators, and it's very similar to found very similar results. Just we don't have the delta space function. Okay, not very complete, but very similar results. And now we calculate the eigenvalues of this, and it's a very simple result just using this commutator that the eigenvalues of this are n equals to 1. I think that everybody knows. Tonian has this state calculated from the vacuum state. There's a vacuum state with n equal to 0 here. Okay? And this vacuum state, we can show that it has a 1/2 h bar omega. From there, we can calculate of the h bar omega. Okay? This is quantum oscillator. You know it, so I will just use it. Considering that I have very similar relations, the only difference is that I have instead of a discrete system, I have a continuum of quantum oscillator. Okay? We can handle, and now we can see that the complex scalar field decline of will consist of collections of harmonic oscillators. Actually, two types of oscillators, one for A and one for B. And the ground state satisfies this relation for the number of elements, the A and B. And I call it, we that's index B in this case, because of course it depends on P, and as index A, because there is one for A and one for B. Okay? So I have to distinguish these two oscillators, and there is a continuous index B. And for this collection of continuous oscillators, I have, of course, a ground state. And this ground state, you know, you this from quantum mechanics. When I have two systems touch each other, this is the tensor problem. Okay, so I will consider the ground state of this system, of this system, and just by zero as tensor problem ground state for all the systems. Okay, just same notation. And now I can calculate what is n over this. For each A, B, and A first. For each n A, B, it is 0. When I sum over all the momenta, it will be 0. Same for B. Okay? And with the Hamiltonian, it's something similar. Look, for this, okay? The Hamiltonian is this, okay? And I now added, and I put it in black letters, this omega, which I added to the Lagrangian. This is just a constant, I just put it to do it. But now it has some very important. And I put it explicit here. So when I calculate the NA, NB over acting on the vacuum, gives 0, and now I'm left just with this, which corresponds to the ground energy of every oscillator and the sum of all of them. Okay? So I will call it this quantity, I will call it the integral of it with this delta T0, just we call it T0 times B. And I will explain why in a minute. And I have also this term, because this is a constant, and when I integrate the Hamiltonian over the x, gives you the volume I'm considering. This volume, of course, is we have to imagine what it is, and at this point it's just the volume of the universe if you want, which if you are quantizing in a box, then you get some discretization, but it's a volume I'm considering for the space where my system is. Okay? So this is the response. For P, 0. For Q, this is important, is 0. And now, you can see, in the case of the charge, unit charge, we have the 80 number and p-type n number. And then I will see in a minute the dots correspond to the charge. Probably this 0 point energy. Then we have this integral. I remind you that the delta, I didn't put it here, so let me write it. But everybody knows that the delta function and the delta function can be written as 1 over 2 times the square cube integral d 3x e to the I p of x. Minus, but this is so this is for delta function. So if I evaluate it as e equal to 0, then this exponential is 1, and I'm left just with the integral of the space, which is the volume, divided by 2 pi cube. Okay? So I can write this here. Okay? This is just the delta 0, is this function of equal to 0, and then this is b over 2 pi cube times this integral. And this integral goes from e equal to 0 in principle to p. Okay? And this is formally an large amount of energy. Let me say it. So, here is where my soberbia de físico empieza a causarme problemas. Because I am pretending that what I'm doing be good, be something that will be useful at every energy I can consider in my mind. Okay? And this is too much. We know, we have learned, we have to go and read the papers. This is something that you must do, and must do. You have them. You can download them on your computer. The classic papers are very important because there you can find the keys for many things that we sometimes are missing. Well, if I'm doing, let me say, quantum mechanics, and I want to describe the atomic spectrum. What you do is to take the proton and take the electron and use Coulomb interactions. Just the charge of this particle, just the charge of this particle, and Coulomb interaction. This is very simple picture of what atomic is. However, it works. Okay? And the question is why it works. If I see the proton is something very complicated. When I go inside the proton, we still don't know what it is. I mean, we have how to calculate things, but the framework, but we don't know actually how to handle many things there. It's very complicated system. However, if I'm doing physics at the electron volt scale, which is atomic physics, I don't care what it is. I am doing physics at 110 nanometers scale, Armstrong scale, then to the -10 scale, which is the size of the atom. And for this length, or for this energy, electron volt scales, I don't care if the proton is made of what it made. All the information that we have are very complicated. Proton is encoded in only 2 at most quantities. Its charge, which is the first thing I use, and its at most magnetic momentum, because I know this is between 1/2 part. And we do physics with this, and all the spectra and the fine spectra and the hyperfine spectra and almost your 21 centimeters that astronomers see what there is. You can do it with this. Okay? Just 2 properties which we call low energy constants for this system. I will go back to this because we are doing 2 things, which is the same thing. We are calculating here at some point where I will see the normal scale will be the mass of the particle, okay? And I'm pretending that this calculation will be valid for any energy. I'll be more modest, and I put, instead of pretending that it will be valid for every energy, I will put some scale. Let's say, let's think that this was for some scale. This I learned from the past, okay? History. So I can do this calculation. Okay, this is just you know how to do it. Go to spherical coordinates, and you have the p squared dp, and pdp is same as dve, and then the p is p squared minus n squared, and I'm left with bde, and with dc is e squared d. And I will calculate this from m to lambda, and furthermore, I will assume that this lambda is much larger than this, okay? Which in practice means that I can neglect this term, and I neglect that p cubed, and then I will have lambda in the integration p4 from lambda to m. Then I will neglect it with 0, and then I neglect lambda 4 divided by 4, okay? And when I do this calculation, of course, if I send lambda to infinity, well, I don't know, I don't have information about this scale, okay? And what I will do at this moment is just to use this freedom I had in my Lagrangian and then in my Hamiltonian to define in the definition of these quantities by a constant, and then I simply use this quantity is equal to omega. And then this way, I can get rid of the vacuum energy, and this will be 0 then with this definition. Today we have many things to say about this because we have the problem of that energy that we will distribute on microscales. And this is related, yeah. So would be related.
So could omega in this case be thought as a counter term or something like that, in order to get rid of the infinity that is coming from the energy?
It depends on what you are thinking. I mean, if I'm thinking in a process of renormalization, and we will have to deal with this. This is the first case where infinities appear in quantum theory. Will appear everywhere. But what we know now is that essentially this infinity comes from, because we are pretending how theory is valid to actual arbitrary. In this sense, yes. In this sense, yes. And but for me, it's more important that at the end is this energy of the vacuum of my system. And vacuum means ground state. Okay, it doesn't mean nothing. It means ground state. Yeah.
continue at my.
Okay. And okay, so we will take this, then I will forget ground state energy, and now my Hamiltonian will be just this collection of harmonic oscillators, and we have zero energy withdrawal. And okay, and on with ground state. Yeah.
Sorry. So as I'm seeing right now is that's kind of like the first renormalization you do but the 0-point energy isn't something that we can actually neglect because we do have the Casimir effect, which says, well, there is a certain importance in the 0-point energy. But what I don't know, if there has been from up to now any idea on how to solve at least that infinity problem, because we've got a lot, not one, but more than one infinities. But that one, that very specific one, that relates to the energy and that has a measurable quantity, that has a measurable experiment. I don't know if nowadays we have at least an idea to where it leads, because actually it could be related very directly to gravity.
Oh, on the first thing, you are absolutely right. On the second thing, I don't want to say it, but I think it's not good. Let me tell you why. And what is the difference and what is the physics? I recommend you, I'm 50 years old, so I haven't go through many processes. I recommend you always to think in your system, not in your faith, not in the faith of your profession. Your system. So let me go back to the problem of the Casimir. It is that it has been measured, okay? And it is a problem from the technological point of view right now, because we are manipulating systems of the order of nothing. And for these systems, starts to be. But if I think how I calculate this, what people do is assume that I have a conductor plate and a conductor plate. And this is my system, okay? And when I have a conductor, laws of physics is and my boundary conditions. The boundary conditions are dictated by the currents, or in this case, by my charge density. If I have any, and this is something wonderful, metallic thing, I have a free gas of electrons. And is what I have there. Okay. So in this sense, what you mentioned is absolutely correct. We have to be careful with this because there is a ground state, and what we calculate this effect, and it's a problem, and we have to calculate and manipulate. We do it. Okay. But this is my system. It's a gas of electrons combined into two walls, and this imposes conditions on the fields. This is there are no free fields. Okay. Impose conditions. And that's why I can actually do the calculation. Okay. But if I'm thinking on gravity, what I have to say is that I don't know. I'm going to do the calculation, and there are something other magnitude difference between the calculation of the omega this way, thinking in the fields of the standard model, of course, and what is measured. So this is not the answer, and of course there are many differences because you are working at the energy of the TV yes, and you need something different, and you have something, but we don't know what it is. Is that, or is there the answer? I don't know. But what I can only say very safely is there are many things we don't know, and we need to know before answering properly. But then we are done with ground states, so let's go to the first excited state. And the first excited state, because I have my oscillators, I can construct them just acting with the target operators on the vacuum. If you do the calculation, this the same calculation, all what you have to do is write the Hamiltonian in terms of the number of operators or the function. In principle, I have the B also, okay? But the B commute with H, with the type A ladder operator. So I'm left just with this, and also when I act with this operator on the vacuum, it is 0. So I can replace this by the commutator, because the commutator is only A before and N after. Okay, and I know that this is that's why I calculate it, because it is the commutator. The calculation gives me and the calculation gives me this delta. The same, okay, but with the important, but the delta. And when I plug this the commutator in my calculation here, then it gives me the delta function and the A operator and the delta function. I can use it to integrate this, and we give me just E instead of P. Will be EQ, and it will be AQ. Okay. Similar calculations can be done for the B time, or for the B, because actually this is the end for energy calculation, for one and other system. First result for the first excited state is that A and B have the same energy, and A and B have the same momentum. They have the same energy, the same momentum, they have the same mass. Okay. So the first quanta, or the quanta of the system, there are two types of quanta of the system, this one and this one, but both of them have the same energy and the same momentum. Second, if I calculate the charge, the U1 charge here, and that's why I choose the complex skeleton, because when you go to the textbook, they always start with the real skeleton. In that case, there is no. Oh, I have to say that the U1 symmetry gives you 0. So in this case, I calculate, and it's the same calculation. Okay, and that is, in this case, we call it the Q is NA minus AB. That's why it is minus sign. Okay, and I do the same, and I get it. So it has the same mass, that means the same energy, the same momentum, but different charge. Okay? And also different A eigenvalues. Recall that NA and B are part of my good value numbers. Okay? So when I calculate this, if I simply give me the same state, if I calculate on B, it gives me 0. If I calculate with B on A, it gives me 0, and with B on B, it gives me 0. So finally, the first excited states have this one, E, B, Q, 1, 0. And we call it TA. Okay? The second one is E, B minus Q, 0, 1, and this is completely different. Okay? But have the same energy and the same momentum, is the same. Those are the first excited states. So, What I can say in the results is that I have a particle, which is this, and I have something that looks like the particle, has the same energy, same momentum, same mass, but different Q. And if I have something with U or something with minus U, then if I speak about the electron, for example, then I have an electron but with positive charge, okay, with the same mass. So I will call it anti-mass. The normalization is the conventional one, because if this is Q, this is Q, this is a dagger, and this is the dagger of this, which is that, and then I can replace it by the commutator for the same reasons, because when I interchange this, then A over the vacuum is equal to 0. So this is just the conventional normalization of states, delta P minus Q. Something that I have to do is try to understand this from a picture of the ball up to now, and then I calculate the vacuum to single particle transition. I can always calculate whatever. When I do this, then this states is just this state. I know what happened with this, it vanishes. Okay, with this creates the particle with momentum P. Okay, when I take the product with this, then I have the PQ, and this is delta V PQ, and then I get it. And this looks like the old-fashioned plane waves state. That means state with momentum U and point length. Okay. I will stop all of this later. For the moment, let me say that I just discussed the 0, 0 in terms of the number. 0, 0 state, ground state. 0, 1, 1, 0 state, particle and particle. But I can do the same process for every number of operators. For example, for 2 particles, I will have the 2, 0, the 1, 1, the 0, 2. And when I calculate this, for example, the 2, 0. For the 2, 0, we have this P1 state, I call it A, okay? I mean, first I create one quanta, then I create another one. Type A, one of them, so I call it A. The momentum P1 plus P2. And for the 1, 1, this state, now AB, and the converse, and then the states. The first thing I have to notice here is that if I change, I mean, if I commutate this operator, then I know that this commutator is 0, and so it's the same if I do first the state with momentum P2 and then go to P1. I mean, it is completely symmetric under the change of the quantum. That means this is you must obey both Einstein statistics. Okay? And the NAB counts the total number. For example, in this case, you can do the calculation. It will be the NE integrated for this DNA. Acting this, then I use the commutator of this to write this, and the other one is just NA. Okay, NA, I can put the commutator because the NA over the vacuum will be 0, okay, and I get this delta function, and then I mess with the other term, which is A NA. So I use the result, and what I get, and what integrate over the I get this number. So it comes the number of quanta of type A. Same for time B, and if I have any combination of them, then I will have similar results. Energy and momentum are additive numbers, and I can divide the calculation of this. HA, then will be LH, we call this the integral of NA plus NB, and this gives you 3 just to say this. Both energy and momentum are if I have two particles, then the energy is the sum of the energies of the particle, and the momentum also is some sum. More important, let's do the vacuum now to two particle states. I mean, what happens when I act with the product of fields of the state? And I have to do the calculation. This is the same thing. I put here the phi, the phi, the dagger, and this is the phi dagger. I define this assumption just to save space, and time, and write also the phi state. And I have products. When I, for example, this one gives you 0. Okay, when you have again, you have to. But the result is quite simple. The products of any fields acting on the vacuum produces any particle state. This is important because one thing is that I can construct all the states acting with the A operators. Another thing is how do they enter in the Lagrangian formation, Hamiltonian formation, okay? And in the calculation then of how probability analysis. And when I have two fields, I have two one. Okay? If I have one field, I have one because I have only one A. If I have three fields, I will have three quantum modes, four fields, four quantum. Okay? And this has to do with the interaction because how Lagrangian is written in terms of the fields, and that means has products of the fields or images of the fields up to certain numbers of fields. Okay? And every time I have a field, I have the possibility to excite one quantum on the map. Later on, the problem will be how to use these states to calculate processes. I will have no time to go to this. I will do it, but essentially is the way we use for the calculations of processes. The same thing, if I have many states, then I have the Gauss statistics. And now let me go. I mean, the picture is now clear. I have a collection of states, as much as the target of have. Now I go to the issue of causality. I mean, locality is ensured because when I have a Lagrangian, I have products of the fields at the same point. Okay? I never have fields at different points in a Lagrangian. It's always L that depends on at the same point. I mean, the Lagrangian density depends on X, not on X. But how do I solve the question of the Jewish causal? It's quite simple. You know, if you have your space-time and you do some measurement here, okay, everything that is inside the light cone then will be causally connected. Okay. If I marry here, for example, then I will have children sometime. Okay. If not, then well, yes. But it's not a good so, okay. But we understand. And now the question is, if a measurement done here can affect something that is outside of the light. And I can answer these questions in the following way. I take an space-line separation like this. Okay? What I have to ensure is that the commutator of the operators vanish outside. If I go the time on fields and I calculate, I have the expansion of this and this, and this is not simple calculation, but the result is I call it this function delta x minus b, and then I have to make sure that this vanishes outside the line. Then to simplify this calculation, let's notice that this is a Lorentz invariant quantity. It's clear for you that this is a Lorentz invariant quantity. This one. This is Lorentz invariant, this is Lorentz invariant, and this is Lorentz invariant. It's clear? This is manifestly Lorentz invariant. Scalar products or vectors. But this is not. But you can do a very simple trick to put this in, to send this to a 4-dimensional integral, and then you will see that it's manifestly Lorentz invariant. Okay? If you want to need to do it, I can do it. If not, I prefer to spend my time. So first, it's Lorentz invariance. For time-lapse operation, it doesn't vanish, but it doesn't matter. Actually, this is important. If, to calculate it, I will do it at some reference time where the times are equal. I can always find such a system. So in this case, we will have this minus x minus g vectors. Okay, and this is lower than 0. And when I do this, then this is resolved, and it's quite simple to see that if I change, for example, p, okay, whatever, in my calculations, then I will get this, and this is invariant under this calculation. This integral dp, this integral dpx, dpz, from minus infinity to infinity. Change p times minus p in one of them, then you will get a minus sign from the change of variable, and you change also your limits, and the minus you use it to change again your limit and get the same result. This for the dpx, and then for the dp, g, and c. So this is you will get the result. So doing this change, you will get something that is here. You will get the result, and this is here. Okay. So this is this tells me that my quantum picture is causal. I will not go so deep on this subject, which is important, which is the propagator. And essentially, the propagator, the notion, the physical notion we have in this quantity is the probability for a particle that is created at the point G of space-time now, okay, be found at the point X of space-time now, okay. We are talking about different times, okay, and I can calculate this one. It will this probability, and in terms of how classical notions, it will be just the propagation of my particle from one point X to one point G at a later time. Okay. Well, I have everything to calculate. I can do this, and the result is this. The dagger, just we have the A dagger, and for the 5, we have just the A because the A dagger on this will be 0. And now I will have A dagger, but when I add with AP on this or with AP on this with 0, so I can replace it by the commutator. And I know the commutator. Okay. This is just the delta function, okay, and that gives me only one of these integrals, and this factor just gives me exponential. This is, I will call it the x minus g. This is a covariant expression for a function, and however, if you calculate, and this is not that simple, it's a good exercise to do. Mathematical methods, complex variables. If you do this calculation, then for large P, in the case of space-like intervals, which are the tangent one, causality, you can show that it is non-zero. It is exponentially small, but non-zero. Somehow this leads my propagator outside the line. And this is wrong. Okay? This is wrong because it violates causality. Violates causality a little bit, but here results are binary or 0 or 1. There is causality, or there is not. So this is wrong, and the genius Feynman gave us the solution. It's just a problem with the time ordering of the fields and the interpretation of the particles. And the final result is that my causal propagator is this one. Actually, I could guess this from the previous calculation because when I see the previous one, there are two terms that cancel each other in the line, outside the line. And at the end of the result is this time order. That means that when x0 is bigger than b0, then I take this product, and when b0 is bigger than b0, then I can follow my physical. And now I should go to the subject of interactions and how can we calculate the amplitudes from them, the theorems, etc. But I have only one now, so I prefer to give you some element which in my opinion is very important for the equation. That is the concept of effective freedom. And I wanted to do it for one reason. For many reasons, but the main one is that I was always curious about the problem of entanglement. And I had the idea that we are doing, with entanglement, we are doing quantum mechanics, and then maybe we are doing quantum mechanics not in the correct way. No? Because at the end, we have some conserved quantum numbers that are behind it. In every example of entanglement I have seen, there is always conserved quantum. So, I take the opportunity that Juan and our colleagues gave me to present these lectures to do the calculations. Not to do the complete calculation, but to advance the calculations of the lecture. And then the question is, okay, I have quantum theory. I know it is the quantum theory of systems for high energies, then there must be a way to recover my conventional quantum mechanics from there. Okay? And when you go to the textbooks, I have not seen a textbook that is this explicitly, completely, and well done. Let me say. So, since we are calculating, and these are things that we can calculate, then I say, okay, I can do these advanced calculations, and also on the way, we get a notion of what effective theory is. And effective theory is, in my opinion, very personal, is what we do in physics. Whenever we do physics, we are doing effective theories. We have done this, and I will give you here an example of an. I will take the quantum theory of a complex stellar field, and we will reduce it somehow to quantum, non-realistic quantum mechanics. Here we go. There are many results, but this is interesting. For this purpose, we always decompose the energy and the energy square, and that's where we have done this in your courses on relativity. And then you expand, and then you multiply this, and the first term is the m, and then multiply that, and the second term is p squared over 2m, and this is the non-relativistic mechanics. I will go further, and I will just call this EP, not the p squared over 2m, but the whole series. Okay. Just let's compose this in the mass term and the kinetic energy. And I call it kinetic because it always has moment. It's just a decomposition. Okay? This is the kinetic energy, it has all the terms. And then to do faster the calculations and simpler, I will define this speed. P nu, of course, is EP, okay, but now the EP I decompose it in M and EP. And I can write it as M times a vector that we call nu, and EP and P, which are called. The first thing I have to say here is one that this is not a covariant decomposition. Okay? So I will not have a covariant version. Whenever I change, I keep all the terms. Of course, I will not write covariance. We will write explicit covariance, but the system will be covariance. But okay, the first thing I have to notice is that it's quite simple to see that if I do this product, okay, with all the terms here, all the terms, I get this simple. You can do it. This will be peaceful, valid to all. Now I use this composition in the Klein-Bordon field. I have the Klein-Bordon field, and then plug this the composition, and then I will have the A and the B. The first A will have a factor MB plus P. P is something that has now the kinetic energy and the okay, it is, and now I will factorize this the factor associated with the mass in this term, and it will give me, of course, the 2 times the first one to get the minus 90. Okay. Also, the 2 times P, I will factorize it like 2 times M, okay? And here EP I put it like M times 1 plus EP over M, okay? And plug outside the 2M, and then you get it with, I get it. I'm just doing different writing of the same thing. And now I define the new field, but this is the factor I have outside, and I will go to all this. I call all this new field, okay, and it's related to the previous one, like other one. Now I have a Lagrangian, and I can rewrite the Lagrangian in terms of the field, and you can very simply do the calculation and get this result. And this result looks somehow strange, somehow looks similar to how non-relativistic intuition. Okay? When I do the Lagrange equations, then I get this result for the target field, this result for the field. Okay? You should do it. It's very simple. You will not spend time. And this looks more like what I have in non-relativistic. Okay? This is non-relativistic Hamiltonian, and this is the non-relativistic energy. But I have this term. However, once again, I have not done any approximation. This is just Klein-Gordon equation, but written in a different way. Okay. Now, I can push things forward and calculate the Hamiltonian density. Now the Hamiltonian density associated to this Lagrangian. Okay, I have a different writing, and then I can have different forms. I have to do the procedure with the new Lagrangian, and you can convince yourself also the simple calculation that this is the result. This looks like P squared, but this looks somehow strange. And now I go on to the real calculation. That is, I have the Hamiltonian density. I have the expansion of the field. We did all this strength factor, equivalent, and the time factor of the side, all of this. And here you must spend some time, but the result is the following. I get the NA as I expected, the NB as I expected, now with different factors, and I get some mixed factors in the Lager and NB. In my previous calculation with Klein-Gordon equation, the complete Klein-Gordon, these factors didn't appear. Okay. When I calculate the other term, I have to plug again the side Lager there and use the A Lager calculations. And this is important. The A and A Lager are the same operator. Okay? Then, after some patient calculation, you will get this result. You have a P squared, okay? You have an NA and NB, and also this factor. Now, when you add these terms, then you will get 2 times E n plus E times E minus P squared. So 1 term, 2 times n plus E P minus minus P squared. Okay, and because this relation is psi pi, then we get a cancellation between the contribution of this term and this term in the cross terms, and we get this final result. You have just changed the representation of the field, or have written a different representation of the field, and the result is this, and we have to understand, we must understand. Now, the big part of the field, or the big quanta, has all the energy associated with the mass of the given field, and the A type of the quanta has only the kinetic term. And this is a result with no approximations, okay? You have not done it. It is Klein-Gordon, but with the field in a different representation. What happened to the other good quantum numbers? Because now we know we are doing just quantum mechanics and we have to calculate. Well, here are the parts, okay? I just say it, but now I do it on the vacuum. If I do it for the B, then I will get this energy. If I do it for the A, I will get this energy. The quanta of the system have now different energies, and the mass have gone to 1 second. So the lesson here is that the specific expansion of the field matters. There is physics there, okay? And to understand what is happening, let's calculate the remaining good quantum numbers. And for this, we have to go to the Lagrangian and calculate again the call in general. This is the expression, right? P is related to the translation, space translation, which gives this factor. And now you have to use your Lagrangian for the psi field, and when you calculate this, the result is this. And you have to go once again, put here the psi dagger, and you get no surprises here. when you do the same for the charge, you get no surprises also. You have to put everything in there. But the quanta has also momentum P, this, and momentum P, this, and charge Q, this, and charge minus Q. And no approximation, so you have some, so it's just a rewriting of flying Gordon quantum. But we are getting a different physics. And here is where the concept of non-relativistic, effective. If I'm interested in systems with P squared much lighter, not lighter, much lower than M squared, then if I write EP here, I'm talking about physics in this region, very far from this scale. Okay? I will call lambda this energy scale up to which my calculations are kind of thing attainable. For these systems, like how non-relativistic systems work, this is a very high scale. And what happens here, in principle, should not matter to what happens here, but should be somehow encoded in some physical effective properties of the system. Okay? And this is the idea of effective field theory. In other words, in our language now, there is no enough energy to excite the heavy type the modes which are here, and we are left only with the light modes, type B modes. And for these modes, of course, the Hamiltonian, now effective Hamiltonian, the effective momentum, the effective quartet charge is given just by the terms which corresponding operators creating and creating operators in okay. And my effective field is this non-relativistic quantum mechanics or not? Well, they satisfy this, okay, and this, and we can check that they satisfy this Schrödinger equation, but they are still fields. I'm not talking about wave functions here. Okay, the single particle states are this. They have energy P squared over M squared, of course, because when I did this, when I did the expansion, I say that P squared is much lower than M squared. Then the first time is P squared over 2 over squared, which is E. Okay. My Hamiltonian gives me this quantum with this energy, with the momentum, with the charge. Oh, sorry, this is plus. With this charge, with zero charge for the P sector, for that, and 1 for the number operators. So the non-relative are given just by these states, which in my notation of quantum numbers is just EP plus U, sorry, plus U 01. This type of comes because I did the calculations originally putting the mass of the design. Okay, so I got this line. So I recall the comparison, but I forget it now. So these are the good quantum numbers, and this is my non-relativistic states. States with well-defined momentum, well-defined energy P squared over 2n, charge, positive charge, and 0 quantum number of the cell. Okay, 1 number of the AC. What about the states? I know I have in quantum mechanics, but I have to construct the corresponding operator, not position. So it must be, yeah, position operator. This one, the momentum operator, in terms of the field. And well, notice first that when I add with the tidal field of the vacuum, then I will get this. Okay. and the A over this, on Latino this will be the P state. Okay? And this is like a sum over all possible values of momentum in defined space of what I call the eigenstates of momentum, eigenspace of position operator in like one. Somehow this is my x position eigenstate. That means variable VA at the point x with a momentum that I cannot choose. I have to sum all the possibilities of it. And first I have to check it has the correct ground P states, and I will also explain why the function is non-relativistic. And on the other side, if I use the side field, everywhere I put effective field, the side field on this state, then I can put it as a commutator plus the other term acting on this. Recall this is it has only a state because this has only a Dagger states. So this is 0, and this gives me my delta function. And this gives me delta function on the one. And then I can multiply it by G vector and integrate all some of the possible value G. And now I use this result here, and the result is that when this operator acts on x, gives me x times the same. So the position operator constructed this way will be given in terms of the field. So I can say that I can go further than this, but I think the things that from this point on it will be easy to reconstruct all of them. And the point is that non-relativistic quantum mechanics is the effective picture of scalar complex field in the n equal to 1 second. Okay. I have also multi-particles today. Okay. And actually they have been used by condensed matter physicists during decades. But all of them are states with low energy, non-relativistic state. When I have 2 electrons, because it doesn't have electrons, but 2 types of quanta field, then both of them then have only kinetic energy and not the full kinetic energy, but this quadrature. If I have this the same, and I have a collection, this is useful for people to do condensed matter. I have many of our ideas. Yeah. What's it? This one. The second one. This one. Okay. Okay, let's do it then. Here it's clear. Okay. When I multiply this, commutator, the other term, 0, commutator will be delta, and this is. Okay. The second one. Now I integrate this, it's just the same relation, just calling this x, it will be psi dagger 0. Okay? This is the psi dagger 0. And now I integrate, add with this operator. When I add with this one, okay, it is exactly what I have get. So this one completely is this delta 3 and 0 vacuum. Okay. The delta 3 kills the integration of G and gives me just x. The psi A on the vacuum gives me the x. So that x is by definition is it's in the previous slide. Is by definition it is psi dagger acting at quantum. Okay. This is, let me see. This is that's it. So, I have done this exercise just to show you that we have to be careful when we do quantum field theory because there are many assumptions and we have to be always thinking in our system, in the description of our system. If we do, for example, QCD, and you will have to go to this, then you have many degrees of freedoms, and it's not the same behavior of a light quark system, a light quark, heavy quark system, or a heavy quark system. The properties are completely different. The properties of all of them are described by QCD. But if you want to calculate these properties, then you will have a hard time when calculating, for example, the heavy system, if you include all the degrees of freedom, because you are doing a lot of work, useless work. You are considering scales very high that are not important to these systems. So you have to, the best way to do it is to do an effective theory for the system, calculate this. Actually, our best calculation in the world is for the ferromagnetic factor of the electron. G-2 is a QED calculation. Okay? And it is done at 5 orders in the expansion of my Coupling constant. Okay? Alpha to 5. And in technical language, people has done calculation at 5 loops with height. We represent later by loops graphically. These are the quantum corrections. And the problem is that when you do this calculation, the first order is you can do it. It's not that easy, but you can do it. And second, you will factor this. And if you go to third order, that's impossible. Because the number of diagrams exponentially, but multiplies. I mean, grows up very fast, and it's practical. People has been able to calculate this property up to this accuracy because people have done effective theories. And when you do effective theories, then you have the first step, which is what we have here, okay, a little more relevant here, but more importantly, you have a control scales which are important for the system. But you have to think always in the system. Okay? And this is the general philosophy of effective field theory, my last reference. In biophysics, what matters is the energy scales of the physics, okay? And what is well beyond this, it is not important. So our first calculations must take into account the important degrees of freedom for the system in how jokes of physics, we will say very simply. The how is a point first, and then is something spherical, and then is whatever you want. Then it's a how. Okay? It's the same philosophy, but put in a specific conformal language. Okay? In our case, what we did was just to identify the relevant states of our system. I mean, the energy, the kinetic energy, and the mass. And we are talking about doing physics well below the mass scale. Okay? And so
Yo estuve checando.
what you can do, or what you do in general, is to write down the most general Lagrangian systematic expansion using these scales. Okay? In other words, my most general Lagrangian, even if I don't know Klein-Gordon quantization, I can do this. I start with my series of technical needs, some operators written in terms of the effective use of physics and external physics that I scale. And those, of course, I will have an infinite series, and these operators have some dimension, energy dimension. By energy dimension, we mean the following. When I have a Lagrangian, for example, in the case of Klein-Gordon, then it is easy to identify the dimension of the field the following way. The Lagrangian, the total Lagrangian is the integral over the whole x of this one. Okay? And the action must be something that has no dimensions. So the Lagrangian must have dimension 4 because x has dimension mass to -4. Okay? Recall, in my units, distances, length are measured in inverse of energy, my times also, okay? And energies use energies, of course. And energy means when you have a derivative field, you have an energy dimension. So you have two derivatives, energy squared, and you have an integral of d for x. This d for x are 4 factors of x, and that means energy to the -4. So if the integral, the action, will be have dimension, then necessarily this field must have dimension 1. The functions dimension 1, dimension 1, dimension 1, dimension 1, dimension 4. In that case, the dimension 4 of the integration over space of the x. Okay? And so you can count from one Lagrangian the dimension of the field. And then you use this dimension of the field to write down the most general Lagrangian with all the terms you can conceive. Of course, you will increase more and more the dimension because you have just phi or phi or psi, but then you will be able to use, for example, derivatives, and every time you have a derivative, you have an energy dimension psi. So you must cancel those, and the natural length scale to cancel these new energy scales, is your scale. Okay? And that way, or when you write this that way, then this coefficient will be orderable. When you are doing just calculation very some order accuracy, the first one, the leader term, then you take this, the leader term. If you want more accuracy, then you will have to go to the next terms. Okay? And when you do the quantum calculations or the quantum corrections, then you will have to deal with the problem of the renormalizability. Because then you will get infinities, then you will go in, and then you will have to learn this. But you wouldn't be able to. If you have the theory, I mean, if you, like we have here, the Klein-Gordon, the Lagrangian, then we can calculate, just matching both the theories, all the coefficients we have here. If we don't have the theory, then this is just what we call the low energy constant, like the magnetic moment or the charge of the proton, in the case we mentioned before. And those are constant, okay? And if we don't have a way, how to calculate it, then we just measure. This is the way we have to do this. Okay? Well, I will finish here. I don't know if you have questions. I would like to.
You mentioned